My name is Cheryl Gardner, and I am a certified court reporter. And Bill, I've worked with you, but I haven't worked with you, Christine, so it's nice to meet you. My question is, will you be more comfortable hiring a certified court reporter if you become a judge in the Justice Court, or will you hire a certified court reporter who is subject to all the Nevada rules of civil procedure and NRS, or will you be hiring somebody who will just be pushing buttons at a tape recorder?
Do you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
All right, Christine Kazemka. And it's nice to meet you. I practiced in Judge Mosley's courtroom. Judge Jansen tracked into there. When I was clerking for Judge Wall, he's always had a court reporter. I'm of the mindset that I like the court reporter a lot better than the JAB system that they have there. I also, in conjunction with that, video interaction with people at the jail might be efficient, but I think it lacks that connection, that human connection. If I was charged with a crime, I certainly would not want to be talking to my lawyer through a TV monitor. There's a lot to be said for shaking someone's hand, looking in their eyes, and saying, you know, we're going to look at what's going on, we'll see what's happening, and we'll see how we can help you through this process. So I like live court reporters, and things can malfunction. A court reporter, if you run out of paper, you can say, hold on, the proceedings stop, you put your paper in. If something goes wrong with the machinery, we can't go back and get that transcript. That's crucial when you're talking about constitutional rights and privileges that are so crucial to our liberty. Thank you.
Thanks, Christine. I've had an opportunity to talk with you before. When I started in the clerk's office with the DA's office back in the 80s, we used to have to type everything in triplicate, and we'd put carbon copies on there. We've come a long way towards, I guess, modern technology, but I'm not that far ahead in the modern technology area. I like some of it. I'm not like my son. He can do circles around me when it comes to computers, and I mean, I understand some things. I think we've gotten away from the personal aspect by the use of our modern technology. You know, we're doing the e-filing now, and I can't tell you how many times I walked into court, and Christine could probably say this too. You know, we walk into court, we've e-filed a motion or something, we get in front of the judge, and the judge doesn't even have it. I've worked very close with court reporters, and I've been in a lot of big cases where the court reporter was very crucial because we needed that. We'd stop the case and they'd read back right away, and didn't have to run something, a tape back, and I know the concerns and the arguments down there between the courts, and it's kind of it's a conflict. So with regards to that, you know where I stand. I mean, I really like working with court reporters. I've been working with them my whole career, but I've had the video and the tape recorders too. And I don't think the tape recorders are in tune with the case like the court reporters are. And when you're dealing with some victims, I did sexual assaults for a number of years, and we'd have them up there and they're crying, and they're, you know, and some of it doesn't come across as a recording as well. When you're using interpreters, oftentimes the court reporter can stop and say, hey, I'm not hearing it right, so I'm not hearing what you're saying, so stop or slow down or something. If it's being recorded, they just let it go. And everyone else has to kind of, you know, clean it up at the end. So for what it's worth, that's my answer. I mean, I don't know how else to say it, but everyone's kind of seen going to the recording, and I don't know how it's I don't see how it's even saving money, because it's more of a different type of technology. It's probably a little more expensive at this stage, and you still have somebody sitting there listening, right?
Getting transcripts for 180, 190, 200 days.
Yeah. Well, that's where I stand. I appreciate the question too. I do. Thank you.
Let me think, how can I promote my business? I didn't say that. I'm David Rivers. In the case of Gwynn versus legislature in 2000, the governor asked for a writ of mandate against the legislature, seeking to have the legislature ordered to undertake certain acts. In analyzing the case, the court ordered the legislature to act act according to one mandate under the Constitution by ignoring another mandate under the Constitution. Please give me your analysis of that finding.
Well, first of all, when you get in a situation, we have the separation of powers, and when you get in a situation where you have one power mandating another power to act in a certain way, I think you've violated that right in the face. So I have a real problem with that, the first step. I mean, and then when you have conflicts between the two, and they're telling them to follow one, and there's clearly a conflict in the other, then you're actually promoting in this particular case it'd be the governor, you're promoting his particular interest at that point, where he's saying, I don't care, there's a conflict, this is how you act. I don't like it, I disagree with it, and in that particular case, that's why the Supreme Court got involved, because they recognized that there's your conflict there. You have one particular power or another power to do something. And you know, we have that issue now, even in our courts. With some may argue that the DUI laws are a conflict, where you're ordering a court to have a mandatory type sentence when the sentencing is under the discretion of the court, or even in the DVs, that type of thing. And that's some arguments that they've been dealing with ever since they started it in 1983 with the DUI specifically. And I'm just talking that way because I'm a little more familiar with that. But I feel uncomfortable anytime we have situations where you're getting ordered to follow certain things. I have some problems with our Supreme Court looking at how the legislature says, here's what you do, this is the law, and then coming in later and striking that. We had a situation when we did the Hells Angels case out of Laughlin, Nevada, where 100 years of law was just basically changed. So in some regards, that's kind of legislating from the bench. And I've had discussions with many of our Supreme Court justices just for that reason. So I think you need to leave the different powers alone and let them, you know, you can make recommendations and say this is what we might have you do or we'd like you to do, but to go in and mandate, I don't agree with it.